What happens here in the Strait of Hormuz could shake markets, rattle economies, and potentially determine how long this war goes on. This is the fear. An oil tanker apparently hit by a drone off the coast of Oman. It's unclear who launched it. But attacks or threats of attacks could give Iran leverage in the face of American and Israeli bombs.
Says an oil tanker has been attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, injuring 4 crew.
This follows reports of 3 tankers attacked over the weekend in the strait. It's tough to know what's going on. There's little official information. Right now, Iran is warning vessels do not pass.
Attention all ships from now on. All navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden.
20% of the world's daily oil production goes through the strait. Now, those ships are stalled.
The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important choke points in the global economy.
The University of Ottawa's Thomas Junot has advised governments on the Middle East.
It is not clear at this point to what extent Iran is attacking purposely transit in the Strait of Hormuz, or if ships are simply refraining from transiting by themselves for fear of eventual attacks. The reality is probably a bit of both.
This is the area we're talking about, the mouth of the Persian Gulf. Oil from Iran, Iraq, and the Gulf states leaves here for international markets, mostly Asia.
The decision by Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz has always been seen as a very, very last resort. It has never been conceivable that Iran would do this without its very survival being threatened.
But with Trump calling for regime change, this now is an existential crisis for the Islamic Republic. Some oil can move through Saudi pipelines, but capacity is limited.
Again and again, the Iraqis have sunk the tankers carrying Iran's oil.
The last time there was prolonged fighting in the strait was in the late 80s, the war between Iran and Iraq. A closure of the strait could increase oil prices around the world, push up inflation, shock stock markets.
I think this is precisely the strategy that Iran thinks that is the only strategy that it can put enough pressure on Trump.
UK think tank Chatham House's Galip Day believes Iran is making a calculation that Trump is the only person who can end the war.
So that the impact of this will be more on international energy prices or on international economy might be another factor that will push Trump to rethink its action.
But closing the strait could hurt Iran too, not just because it needs to sell oil to make money. That's where China comes in. It relies on oil shipped through the strait, a relationship the Islamic Republic depends on.
Iran is buying some weapons from China. Iran is dependent on some diplomatic cover from China, notably at the UN Security Council. So if Iran really goes to the last resort of sustainably trying to close the Strait of Hormuz, it really has to balance that interest.
So what happens here will reverberate around the world. It's complicated, dangerous, and like so much else, uncertain.